Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the Kansas City Soccer Journal. This show is brought to you by Core Outdoor Equipment. My name is Cody Bradley. I've got Thad Bell, Kerry Robinson, and Robert Russert here with me. Welcome in to all of you soccer sickos. How many games have you watched in the last 10 days, and how gross do you feel as a result? Just nonstop, all day, every day. You get 1 hour in between games, and that's pretty much it. It's just soccer the entire time. I'm awake all day, every day. And I've
Now,
been
Cody, I
loving
don't know
it.
if your employers listen to this, but are you at work, like on your phone, watching the games?
Not on my phone, on my computer.
Okay,
Double
sorry.
monitor there.
I have
No,
I have Love Island set up on my tablet, and then my TV has the games, and then I have double monitors for work.
so that's 4 monitors. I just counted 4 monitors: Love Island and soccer, and 2
Yes, well,
work
soccer's on
monitors.
the TV,
Okay.
but I can see it from my screen.
Love Island?
I'm glad my life's
Love
not that
Island.
complicated.
No, there is absolutely nothing going on at my work. I'm not skipping out on anything because they had to. FIFA rented all of the hotel rooms, so no events could come in. You can't have any conventions come in because there's no hotel rooms. And then they canceled all those hotel rooms, although it was too late to actually have any events. So nothing going on at the convention center. Just a whole lot of sitting around twirling my thumbs and
Thank you,
watching soccer.
FIFA.
Thank you for that. Okay, let's just we're gonna get to Sporting Kansas City. We got a couple rumors that we can talk about, but it's World Cup time, and Lionel Messi played a game here in Kansas City, Missouri, at Arrowhead Stadium, our hometown stadium. Made history, an absolutely beautiful night. Thad, I want to hear you talk a little bit about it. You were there with your daughter. You got to have more fun than me in the quiet press box. I imagine that was just a once in a lifetime moment there with your kid.
Yeah, and I know anybody who's listened has heard that I had the conflict of being able to shoot the game and, get a chance to shoot the greatest player of all time. Sorry, David. Or
And
spend
be careful with your words. Shoot the greatest player of all time. Yeah.
again photos, camera. But my daughter bought tickets. She said she wanted a lifelong dream to go to a World Cup with Dad, and we've joked about it for a long time that she'd have to wheel me in there. She didn't, fortunately. But yeah, so it was pretty special to get to sit there with her, and she's more easy to go be a fan than I am because I've basically have to always squash that when I'm at events for the most part.
And you were still taking pictures up there too.
Well, just with the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still pretty cool, and by halftime I was able to kind of let go and be a fan and cheer for watching a record-setting event.
Robert, you were there for probably longer than anyone as a volunteer part of the time, and then got to actually go to the game as a fan too.
Yeah, Cody, I volunteered until 6. Teams didn't arrive till, 7:30, maybe a little bit before. So part of me wanted to stay and wait, right? But my wife is texting me, we'll talk about this later. You better get out here now because I don't know if we'll get in the stadium by game time. So I was like,
and you were
"Oh,
already
all
at
right."
the stadium.
He had to leave and go change clothes. He couldn't go as a Seattle wannabe.
Yeah, all of
Exactly.
that, all of the problem getting in, that made it worth it. I looked at kickoff. It looked like pretty much everybody had made it in time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they did.
It seemed like they made it all worth it. And then for the second game, Ecuador Curacao, it might have just been the circumstances of the timing of the game, perhaps, but it seemed like they had improved it a little bit. Thad, we got in pretty good.
Yeah, we got in pretty good, but we also have a different path than everybody else. But I was looking at the lines, and it looked like everybody was making it. It looked more organized, definitely, for that game.
Yeah.
But it may have just been the difference in people, like Argentinian fans, just all mobbed in, and the Ecuador fans kind of followed a path and wound around. And
Right.
Well, I got there at, gosh, I don't know what, 12:30 or whatever time I got there.
Damn.
And Ecuador fans were still there, all coming in, walking across the highway. So it was almost as crazy as the Argentina fans at that point, too. So
Yeah, it was, and I was worried about getting in just because I know it's not messy in Argentina, but there's still a finite number of people that can fit in the stadium. So I was not understand like if there's about a sellout, it should in theory be about the same. But I almost assume that FIFA did take some of the advice from KCWC 26 and all after all of that of the first game. So it seemed like it was a little more efficient at least. Okay. So yeah, those two, we got 2 first games in. 2 of the 6 have been played. 2 special things happened in both of them. I'm not sure, Carrie, if whenever they were organizing this event 7 years ago or planning all of this, I don't think what happened on Tuesday night was even like in anybody's wildest dreams.
No, I don't think so. And actually, I was out in Lawrence because I wanted to see the hype they had for Algeria's first game.
Yeah.
They opened up, I don't know what it was called, but it's like a small little theater on Main Street. It's not that small. It has like three levels to it. But man, when the Algerian team came out and they show, it was loud in there.
Yeah. And when they
Loud.
scored a goal or they
And-
thought they scored a goal.
Oh yeah, no, I have that on video. It was a great 10 seconds. I really wish I could have like recorded to see how loud it got. Like I'm sure my phone might actually have it in there. But I think towards the end, Joss started booing Messi every time he came up on the screen, and then the rest of Lawrence started booing him every time he came on screen.
He's an
That's
instigator,
funny.
isn't he?
100%.
That was a good idea to go out to Lawrence for that. I bet that was really fun.
There was a lot of Algerian jerseys that people definitely bought, trying to get it there as soon as possible.
Very cool.
Lots of
I'm proud of Kansas City. I'm counting Lawrence in that. That's all just long away suburb, but yeah, the area I think has been doing quite good. But the mass transit was thought to be an issue. Of course, we had the problems getting into that first game, but I well, I guess other than the guy shooting people on the interstate.
Yeah.
Everything else I think I've been quite proud of Kansas City so far at that.
Even the mass transit for me, because I went as a fan, and thankfully Robert's wife is way more organized than we are, and talked to us about getting a bus pass and all this other stuff. But I showed up at the transit spot in Independence Center, and about 10 minutes before we were supposed to be on a bus, and it took us about 15 minutes to get on a bus, and it took us about 15 minutes to get to the stadium. Super easy, and it was a long walk, but that's not a big deal. And
I think the only, I guess, a negative I've been seeing, just because I'm on Reddit a lot, and Reddit, the Kansas City subreddit is not
the most
happy.
positive place you can be.
Oh, Lord.
They're just not happy about the inconveniences that come along with this. But yeah, I think they've covered everything pretty good so far. The problem I've been seeing, though, of course, is some articles coming out about business owners not seeing the bump that they were expecting. But Carrie, I've been reading all of these, and they're like, one of them was in was a brewery in the Northland, and I get wanting to be prepared for more people coming in, but I don't think, Carrie, it's that crazy that people are on the plaza and along the streetcar route, and like that's where all the visitors are. That makes perfect sense to me, and I'm not quite understanding why we're acting like no one is here and visiting because a brewery in the Northland didn't get the bump that they were expecting. That does not surprise me.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw not that one specifically, but I saw another business that was complaining, and I looked it up, and it was like in the outskirts of Kansas. And I was like, okay, there's no one's gonna be Ubering to your place. I'm sorry.
No.
But it's something that we saw like during the NFL draft of all these small businesses also kind of complaining, which maybe they're gonna complain a little bit more because they assume people will have more cars here. But it's just one of those things you have to take with a grain of salt of realizing that maybe they're a little bit more outside the scope than they thought they'd be.
And great job to the streetcar. Like that's been the biggest thing. I almost think that we should have had more of a to-do along the streetcar. Like we should have just had pop-ups and random things like that all along the streetcar just to make it look good. Yeah. next 40 years from now.
The streetcar has been so fun when it's packed.
Yes.
I took a longer lunch break to try to go to FanFest to see if I could get the bracelets. Because there's a 4 or 5 hour long line for them.
Okay, can
I
we hold on?
couldn't.
Can we stop right there? What are these bracelets, Carrie? At the game, out front of the game, there was an hours long wait. At FanFest, there's an hours long. What are these bracelets? Why
They
do
just-
people want them?
They just have little charms on them, and some of them are Kansas City related charms. So they have like a barbecue sauce, a fountain, a trumpet, a note. But they've been
Okay,
really cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
hope
the
they can
Bank
get
of
one out.
America? The Bank of America tent? Is that where that's at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't miss it. The line is sprawled all around FanFest. Like
Yeah.
it's genuinely hours long that people are waiting on that.
So,
Well, speaking of the lines at FanFest, I went there for the U.S. game on
Same.
Friday, and I came in from the side of the Scout, right? So I was kind of coming in the back way, and I walk up to the entrance. I could have stopped right there and just waited, but me, being me, I said, well, I'm going to follow the rules. So I walked all the way down, about 3/4 of the way down to Union Station and got in line there, but I kicked myself afterwards. But
What time did you get there, Robert?
I got there about, 10:30.
What?
Yeah.
Robert, I got there at 12:30 and did not wait in a single line.
Well, that's because the line had already been pushed through by then.
Everybody else was so worried about getting there 6 hours early that I showed up an hour and a half early and literally walked right in.
Sometimes
Okay.
it pays to be late, Cody.
So there are that many people trying to get into FanFest. Huh? It is a big enough area that you can go there and not feel like you're cramped in power and light, and it's a little bit different of a vibe there. Obviously, you're stuck in the sun, but yeah, FanFest was great. I'm very glad that I went there, and because I was almost inclined to avoid the craziness of it, but no, that was so much fun.
Did you see the scenes from the Chainsmokers concert last night? That was packed.
Yeah,
that
I
was
would
the
have
most
loved to
packed it's
go.
been.
Yeah. Yeah, knew the Chainsmokers night would be good. I need to go look at that. I haven't seen video yet.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
I was sad when they rescheduled to a Sunday because it was supposed to be a Saturday, and I was like, okay, everyone's gonna be downtown, but like no one's gonna be at like the cocktail lounges. Like go get a drink and chill out after the World Cup, and nope, it was on a Sunday.
I was there for Flow Rida after the US game. That one was nice and boring. No one really cared about it. It was all Ecuador fans showing up, and I'm not sure any of them knew who he was. Chainsmokers is a good get. Flow Rida will take any paycheck. He was on the lawn of the White House. I think he was one of those that was happy to be there. Yeah, I don't know. FanFest has been really good. I actually think the $200 value, those tickets for that area where you get AC and included with some drinks, it's actually a pretty dang good value. And that would have been good if you're trying to go to one of the concerts. So yeah, get out there. Go check out FanFest. It's worth it. Thad, you're probably not going to do that, are you? You're more of a P&L guy, aren't you?
I'm more of a sit on my couch or at my desk and watch two screens guy.
Okay.
Too many people.
Okay, go KC. Keep it up. You're looking good. Let's take a quick break. All right. Sporting Kansas City news. We've got a rumor that they are looking to acquire left back Amir Karic. Is how I'm just going with that. Thad, is that close enough? You're the master of pronunciations around here.
I would just say Amir.
Amir. We don't even know that, though, for sure.
We do not.
29-year-old out of the Austrian Bundesliga with Sturm Graz. I don't know. Robert, what do you think of this? You seen any highlights?
No, I have not. But, I do like the fact that we are seeing some action. And again,
Wheels
I
are
think
turning.
Yes, David Lee is there sitting going crazy at his desk. And I don't know if he's going to end up with a Mike Burns kind of little meme to go with him, but we may have to come up with one.
Well, he's talking about bringing in 4 to 7 players. Dude brings in 7. I'm going to make a meme for him.
Yeah. At this point, if we haven't heard for more than we've heard so far, I'm going to lean towards the 4 end of that, but you never know, right? So still a rumor on the left back, Amir Karic, or however you say his name. Although I was out at training today and it was their first chance to see Orblorian, talk to Rafael and Orblorian and Manu.
Oh, cool.
It was all good fun because Argentina was obviously not there today. So it was pretty cool. And I will just say that I very distinctly got the impression that there is another player on the way. Like it's known, it's happening. But that's not what was said. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I just very distinctly got the impression there is another player on the way, and we might hear sometime soon.
You would think, because we don't often hear nothing before a player is announced. So if if they've got one that's close, I would almost assume we're maybe looking at Jan Gobo from last week or a couple weeks ago, or this Amir Karic. So
Yeah. Amir is less of a stretch than Jan Gobo is, just because of the price and the
Right.
other teams that had some interest in him.
Yeah.
And there was the rumor that Amir Karic showed up to training and left without training. So
Oh, interesting.
who knows? He could be here already and all that stuff. We were kind of joking that who's hiding out in the training center because we were all on the outside. But and
Interesting.
kind of a shout out to Orb Blorian because he was asked about why he came here, and he said he had heard good things about it from Gadi Kinda, and that he so I asked him about did you know Gadi, and he said yeah, they were on national team together a couple of times, and
yeah.
he was always smiling and such a great guy, and he just was very genuine about saying we miss him. It's been a while, but he really misses him.
Look at that small world in soccer. Even in Kansas City, you find connections like that from international players. Okay, cool. So the wheels are turning. Very good to see that. This is really all we can hope for. These rumors of players that we don't know how good they are or have many highlights of them. But that's MLS silly season right there.
Yep. I'm going to add one more thing too, because as I've mentioned before, I have asked to talk to David Lee, and I know Sperry has asked to talk to David Lee, and we were informed today that yes, we will get to talk to David Lee before the season starts back up. So we will get a conversation with him about the off season, this little not off season, but the break.
David's trying to get some signatures and cross the T's and dot the I's before he talks to the media, so he can be like, "Look what I've done."
Do you think he would have taken this job if he knew he'd have to talk to the press so much? Because he complains about it every time.
He did, like almost right away. He was like, "You guys ask me a lot."
Yeah. But I kind of joked with him, like, I know you don't want to talk. And he's like, no, it's not that I mind talking. It's just I never had to do it this much. He said he only talked to the press like twice in New York.
Well, let's just tell him that the norm is to come on podcasts every week, and that's what a person in his job normally does here in Kansas City.
I'm pretty sure Robo would stop that. Yeah.
It's like when you have a substitute teacher and you're like trying to get them to do something that we always do this.
We need Robo to be homesick that day and let this happen.
So what do you guys think? Do you think for Sporting Kansas City, and I say for Sporting Kansas City because, we're the market we are, is a situation where we see a player perform well in the World Cup game, a couple of them, and, we have a chance at signing that guy. Is that a Sporting Kansas City thing or not? What do you guys think?
I mean, my mom was watching the Ecuador Curacao game and was like, we should sign that goalkeeper for Curacao. And I was like, well, he's in League One, USL League One. And he's also like 38. So
yeah. That's I think it used to be like you'd watch the World Cup and you'd see somebody that performed well with a little unknown team, and you'd like, oh, hey, let's inquire about this guy and maybe sign him. But there's so much global knowledge about players nowadays, so many stats and scouting stuff that maybe somebody raises their profile by doing well in the World Cup, but you're still not going to go, I'm going to sign a USL keeper.
Maybe,
she forgot about the Germany game.
Maybe MLS can look around for teams like Curacao with 2 Miami FC players on there. But like to Thad's point there, if someone else really with any other team comes on the scene and has a good World Cup, that alone makes them too expensive for Sporting Kansas City. Like if someone has a breakout party in the World Cup, it's Real Madrid want to sign them, or like teams like that, not necessarily
Yeah.
guy from Curacao or Sporting
We need the
Kansas
guy
City.
that's bumped aside by somebody performing well in the World Cup.
Right. Yeah. Guy that just barely didn't make the roster.
Hello, Diego Luna.
There you go. Beautiful.
Sorry, I got his sticker trading card.
Oh,
That's the
yeah,
only U.S. player I've gotten so far.
of course. Okay. Let's take another break. We'll be right back. All right. Let's get back to World Cup vibes and the U.S. men's national team. We can talk about them for a little bit. 2 wins, already advanced into the round of 32. Robert, I don't think I've been on a show talking with you too much about it. How are you feeling about the Yanks after the Australia game?
Well, I mean, you may have seen my article in KC Soccer Journal. From the context of going far in this tournament, I deemed this match against Australia as a must win because that sets us up for an easier path into round of 16, etc. So massive win. Got to win the group. So now we're going to see a third place team. That should set us up well. And then after that, assuming or hoping we win that game, we're looking at a Belgium or an Egypt probably, which, I think we're pretty much on par with and can beat. So, massive result. Not as dominant, obviously, but we put ourselves on a good path.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be Belgium if we get past Bosnia, but then they keep dropping points here, and I'm not sure if Egypt or Belgium would be a harder task in that second game.
Well, I hope it's actually Egypt because then we can convince Salah to come to Kansas City. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if they're here. I don't know if that even going to work, but
Yeah, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but yeah.
No, we'll get. Is it Ecuador's? Well, no, because they blew that game. Whoever it was going to be Portugal. Whoever's the next best team in that group is probably going to be the round of 32 game that we get here.
Well, the round of 32 again is going to be a third place team in a group. So you think it's going to be Portugal?
No, it was. Well, there are 2 teams that play. It's the winner of Portugal's group is the one that plays in that round of 32 game. So
Here,
if Portugal,
in Kansas City.
Oh, you mean here in Kansas City? Okay, I'm sorry.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if however that turns out, that's the team we'll get, and then kind of a mystery third place team.
Yeah. The path the U.S. is setting up to get, again, there's no easy teams once you get past. I mean, there's no easy teams at this point, right?
Right.
But once you get to the 32 and the 16, their path looks easier than perhaps other teams that would be going that far.
Right.
So they could set up for a decent run to a quarterfinal.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they got to play the games, they got to beat those teams, but that would be a really pretty good performance to get to the quarterfinal. And they look dangerous enough to beat a quarterfinal team. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that's promises or predicting, but we'll have to see who they face up against. But it's looking like they got a chance.
Yeah, you don't want to look past Bosnia and Herzegovina for
No.
a round of 32, especially after all the hype of this. But it's hard to not at least, kind of dream and look at the path. Like if they do get past that, then we're, like Robert said, we're looking at a Belgium or Egypt, which is a doable game. And then so far that puts us in a quarterfinal with Spain. And, playing in a quarterfinal against Spain is just kind of what I'm hoping for here. Whether we win that game or not, playing a quarterfinal against Spain, having beaten a team like Belgium, having advanced this far, that would make me feel good about where we are. We'd have an insane, fun 90 minutes against one of the best teams in the world, and that's what we're here for.
And then we beat them.
And then we could still beat them.
Yeah. That's Manu did not like that idea when we talked to him today.
About playing Spain?
Yeah, or potentially beating them. He goes, "You know how much I would hate it here? People would give me so much a hard time." That's not quite how he said it, but it was like, yeah, he would catch so much crap from all of his teammates. Now, going back to Robert's must-win for the second game, you kind of caught flack from somebody in the comments, and I get that. I kind of hate that must-win title until it's must-win.
Right. The context, yeah.
Yeah, but in the context, it set them up to be able to rest players, to not play guys, because Adams, Jedi, Balogun, and Chris Richards all have yellows. None of them have to play in this game. so they
Mhm.
can be assured of being available for the round of 32 game. Pulisic doesn't have to play. They can play him 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever they feel like he's healthy to play, or not at all
If
if
he's
they want to
if he's
play it safe.
100%, put him on the field at least for a little
Right.
bit. I because
Yeah.
it would be like 2+ weeks in between
Yeah.
games for him. So yeah, I would like to see him get on the field.
But it gives them the option to rest him as much as they want and to rest the players on yellow, and also give 4-5 other players opportunities to play in a World Cup. You know, that's
Yeah.
their dream, to play in a World Cup and not just sit on the bench and watch other guys play. So it
So
worked out well.
Carrie, after the Paraguay game, I was on cloud nine, best performance I've ever seen this team play. I was all uh, uh, I was as hyped as anybody could be in talking about the team. The Australia game, great win, very happy we did it. I didn't necessarily see something that made me feel like we were gonna win the World Cup. Um, give most of that credit for just the game plan that Poach put them on the field, and I think a lot of people were maybe kind of questioning or maybe surprised to see Pepe out there. But yeah, I don't Carrie, are you did you carry that hype from the first one, or is this just they scratched out a win against a team that just tried to not play soccer?
No, I think I'm on cloud nine after that second game.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
we've seen a lot of lows with this team in the last few years, and to even wrap your mind around, this is the first time they've ever won 2 group games at a
Yeah.
World Cup since 1930. Since someone's gonna correct me on that, it feels good. Like towards the end of the game, I think people were like nervous about the defense, and I was like, I think I told someone, I was like, this feels like a current game from last year. They're gonna
Yeah.
scratch out a 2-0 win. They're gonna call it good, and they're not gonna concede. I mean, when is the last time that we have not had a clean sheet as well?
Yeah,
It's
that's
been a while.
insane. Yeah, one goal from the first 2 games.
Yeah. And it was 2 very different games. Paraguay being a little more technical, or having an attacking ability. Australia has that attacking ability, but they're also much more physical, and they were willing to, you know, go at it a little bit more. So it was good that the US was able to take that, and even saw how some of them were talking about they're learning to rage bait the other team and draw them
Mhm.
into getting fouls. So
Yeah.
all smart play, all good things, and Turkey will be yet a different type of team. And these are all just good tests for them to see different teams as they continue to advance.
I have
I'm
to
not
give Thad
Yeah, go
props
ahead.
on that vocabulary of rage bait.
Yeah. Good job. You're a
I gotta
millennial,
call it
Thad.
out when I see it. It was good.
I stole it from an article.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pour cold water on it at all. I'm very hyped. I'm very happy about the team. I think after I viewed that Paraguay game as that's the first time we saw this team in the way that Poach wanted to do it, and I was just very excited to see like how high they could go. And in the Australia game, I think I've read that maybe it was even part of the tactic there of we don't need to kill ourselves to close them down at every single point because it's A-League players, not
Yeah.
Bundesliga players, and when they do get a chance, it's gonna go up to row Z instead of in the back of the net. But there were some of those moments, like the ball did fall to Australia and they put their foot through it. And if it was Kai Havertz or someone on Spain, that ball probably does go in the net. So, and even the same thing in Paraguay too. There were moments there that if we were playing a top team in the world, it would not have been 4-1. So I guess I was hoping to see we come out there and in spite of a big wall of defense and tall players that they have back there, that we would just show that we are one of the best teams in the world. Maybe we aren't quite there yet, but I think that they can still keep growing. And also Australia just turned that game into something ugly, and that was clearly the game plan from the start.
Well, we did create a number of chances. I don't know the XG, but XG doesn't always tell the whole story. But, I think right now against an Australia and a Paraguay, having Chris Richards in the back is enough.
Mhm.
When we get to a stronger side, we'll see the true colors of the guys that are around him. So hopefully they can step up.
Well, and Freeman seems to be advancing and getting better too. He actually had a
Yeah.
couple bad like at least one really bad pass at the beginning of that Australia game.
Yeah.
But I think he is, like, we're watching him get better, and I know I keep
Mhm.
giving Poach credit for everything, but I think there's something there too that so he could keep getting better. Tim Ream is just such a high IQ player and a fighter that I'm feeling better about our defense than I was before the first game.
Yeah, Poach was asked about Freeman and his development, and kind of interesting. Right away, he gave credit to Orlando City,
Yeah, I saw
and
that. Yeah, I liked
yeah,
that.
and for the moment, the name of the coach escapes me. It shouldn't because I should know it. But yeah, just the communication and the cooperation between Orlando City and the national team, and that probably had something to do with Freeman, going over to Europe as well. So yeah, it was interesting that he gave them props on that.
Yeah, Martin Perlman. I couldn't get Oscar Pereira out of my head.
Yes,
Actually, I thought he mentioned Oscar at one point.
he did. He did.
He might
So,
have,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, we've we've talked about Tim Ream not being the fastest, and I know I've said multiple times he's okay there as long as he has fast guys around him. When he has Jedi to his left and Richards to his right, he's not a liability like you would think he would be, right? He's still a little bit of a liability with speed, but he is still a smart player and can make those passes. So his limitations have been minimized by having the players around him, and his strengths are being maximized by having those players around him.
Yeah, and I think that they can. There's we've seen enough of the team that, and we all know sports enough that any team in the world, you can't just say there's literally no chance and they'll get embarrassed every single time. They have quality players on the field. France is a stretch. France is a stretch to say that we can beat them, but I think I've seen enough that the offense can break down most defenses in the world. And I think in a game, if we do get to a game against a team like Spain, then it would just, if we're winning that game, it would be a shootout, because I do think that the attacking core can break down really good defenses. It's just how many times can they prevent Yamin Lamal from scoring?
Yeah. Well, Spain hasn't been doing all that good so far, so
That's true.
a win and a draw. And also going back to you talked about how when they beat Paraguay, you thought they were world beaters, or what? Not the right term, but you were so
Thought they
hyped about
could
how
be.
good they were,
Right.
right? Again, remember 3 of those goals were in the first half. One of those was an own goal. The fourth goal was much later in the game. So Pulisic really played the first half and was part of all that goal contribution effort, even if he wasn't putting the ball in the net himself.
Yeah.
But he was part of that danger. So they were still good against Australia, and they were still good in the second half against Paraguay, but they weren't as good as having Pulisic on the field and doing all that stuff. So
Yeah. And
it does play into it.
They advanced out of the group with one game to play, and Christian Pulisic played one half.
Right.
It's
And
crazy.
he was not the one that we were worried about being fragile, or at least
Right.
not the number one worry about being fragile.
Oh, and how about watching Tyler Adams get kicked impossibly hard right on the leg, and he just stood up, kept playing. I think we're over it. This is a new Yanks that we've got here. Tyler Adams is not quite made of glass anymore.
I don't know. We were concerned after seeing the videos after the Knicks won.
Right. Yeah.
That did still scare me.
And hey, Pulisic did run down to the corner to celebrate Freeman's goal after it was announced, onside. So I was a bit surprised by that, actually. It's like, Christian, go sit down on the bench.
No, he is working out. He is doing things. So, I mean, it's not like he's not being able to do anything. So, although make sure he warms up before he celebrates somebody else's goals.
I think they said today, full practice again today on Mondays when we were recording this. Robert, you mentioned own goals, or maybe that was Thad. Somebody mentioned own goals as, like maybe you can brush those off.
Yeah.
These 2 own goals in particular are goals that they were going to score. They're on the first one against Paraguay. There were like 3 different players that could have scored that goal. This was a team putting a defense under immense pressure and having no other option than to just have a desperate flail at it. So these 2 own goals, I'm crediting our team with those goals. Those were nice plays.
I mean, Bala could destroy the Australian back on that play, right? Just beat him right around the corner with speed, and yeah, for sure.
Well, there's another one. I
sure.
actually haven't seen anybody talk about this. I should clip it out on social, but on the play where Pulisic set up that own goal, there's one, he splits those two defenders and another guy steps up to try to get that next touch before him. Pulisic gets that first touch and absolutely barrels through the guy. Pulisic, it was like like a feather had hit him and wasn't affected in any way. And this guy just tumbled over. Pulisic just trucking people to get to that goal. That's what I mean. It was just dominant. They were bigger and stronger and faster and all over them, and that's why both of those goals got scored. Let's get in our core player of the U.S. men's national team so far. Another thank you to Core Outdoor Equipment, our sponsor. This is our sponsor integration. So seamless. The core player of the U.S. men's national team so far. Robert, who do you like?
I knew you were going to throw it to me, Cody. Damn you.
You get to pick from anyone.
You know, I mentioned Chris Richards early, and he has been a rock in the defense, obviously. But, you know, I'm just loving me some Serginho Dest because he kind of counterbalances the strength that we have on the left-hand side. And, you know, if he gets the ball on that right-hand side, he's going to do something good with it. So I've really been enjoying watching him play, and I think he provides a great counterbalance for our attack.
Yeah, Robert, I'm with you on that. I think he's one of the best players and has been one of the best players. And I don't even think he is even close to his best yet. I think he's had some heavy touches, and I think there's another level of him and that he's going to click into here at some point. Very excited for that. Thad, who do you like?
You know, again, it's always difficult for these things when you just pop them on me like the last second when I don't have any time to think or prepare. Not that I would ever.
Hey,
give
you're
you any
going
crap for
second,
that.
Thad. Come on.
No, there's so many players that you could say were core players, but I'm going to go a little bit off the wall on this, and I'm going to say Sebastian Berhalter.
Ooh, okay. Coming off the bench as the core player.
Coming off the bench and providing the willingness to do all the running and shut stuff down. So, and I've just liked what he's done when he's come off the bench. I hope he gets a start in the third game with them resting some players, hopefully. But I think he deserves a shout out. So that's why I'm going to give him the core player for my vote.
Okay, well, you guys know I'm a big Weston McKennie guy, and I think in that second game, a lot of the game plan relied on him to do more in the absence of Pulisic and more creation, and I think he did really well on that. But we always talk about him. I'm gonna say Malik Tillman. I thought he has been even better than I was expecting, and I just love he plays with this like it's a confidence, but it borders on nonchalance. It doesn't quite go to nonchalance, like he's just lackadaisical a little bit. It's just confidence, and with somebody bearing down on him, he just looks like he's in a stroll in the park. Love his work ethic so far, and yeah, he's been such an important player for them. Okay, 3 core players. I think we actually all said like 6 different core players there.
Well, I was going to give you a hard time because you start off with McKennie, and I'm like, oh man, that's such an easy pick.
I know.
You know, Dest was an easy pick.
Oh, come on. I didn't go with Richards. I was going to go with Richards, and I went with Dest. So
that is our core outdoor equipment player of the U.S. men's national team. Okay. So that's U.S. talk. How about just the rest of the World Cup? How are we feeling about the way America's presenting this? Thad, what do you think about the hydration breaks? That's been obviously a big talking point.
I get that people complain about them and you should only have them in places where it's really hot, but I somewhat disagree. I just say if you're going to have hydration breaks, in some places have them everywhere, because that way it gives every coach a chance to coach the game. So like somebody can say, oh, but Argentina got a chance to like reset and do something different, and I didn't. This other game when I played that team, I just say make it even across the board and all of that. Now I don't love that sometimes the games come back on, and the ads are still playing.
Yeah.
And I also think that I know this is like the world feed that we're getting on some of this stuff, but I don't need to see some celebrity sitting up in the stands who I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
This will, if I get in charge, I'm gonna mandate, if you show somebody sitting in the stands, you need to say what their name is.
That happened twice in the Australia game. They showed people
Yeah.
on the screen. I'm like, I don't know who this is. Like, I feel like I know soccer pretty well. Why don't if they're showing these people? I don't know who the hell they are.
And they leave it up there for like 15 seconds, and you come back and they already took the free kick, and you're like, what the hell happened?
I like the when Thad gets in charge.
Yes.
Yeah, and
When I get in charge, we're changing a
when.
lot of shit.
Also, Servando Carrasco was one of those celebrities that got put on the screen, a former Sporting KC player.
Sporting legend.
A sporting legend, yeah, kind of.
No, that's an official title that gets you a name up on the board.
Okay, sorry.
It's
what's
the
a
people
synonym
that
for a legend?
it's the people that think these hydration breaks are created for commercials explicitly that piss me off, because
Is it not?
no, they're just using them,
Yeah.
the hydration breaks, to put more commercials in, which only makes sense if you're going to try and make money. It's about money, right?
Yeah.
So the hydration breaks are not created to be commercial breaks. That's not what it was.
Well,
Yeah, of
they
course
weren't-
it wasn't.
The original idea wasn't invented to do commercial breaks, but they've put them ahead of time into this thing no matter what, because they could sell hundreds of millions of dollars more every single game.
Oh, originally it's about player safety, the heat. I get it. Yeah, and like you're saying, that it has to be consistent. Things are so consistent, guys, that I don't think I'm giving away anything I shouldn't give away, but there are a number of water bottles and Powerades that we can provide per team. And if another team asks for more, we have to tell them no.
Wow.
And Argentina asked for a hell of a lot more, and we had to keep telling them no.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
But
That's interesting.
everything is set to be even for everybody.
Yeah, I will say that it's an interesting take you had about just making it the same for everyone. I've not actually heard anyone say that, and I guess that's a valid point. But my main thing here, Carrie, I'm sure you're with me on this. Like, it is legitimately, it's like antithesis to what soccer is, and the whole point of being 90 minutes fit is you have no respite, and you have to just get out there, and the coach has to put his team together right then and get it in their game plan right then. And it just is like legitimately changing the entire way the game is played and the strategy of it and its impact. Like, goals are being scored.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, what's
Goals
next?
are being
Quarters?
scored.
Yeah,
2
is it
minutes
really?
after.
Where's the proof on that, Cody? I mean, is it really, or just what people are saying?
No, I'm saying if 2 times a game a coach gets to re-strategize with his team on the field, that is a massive change to the whole idea of what this sport is.
Okay, you're not wrong. But does it harm the sport?
And where's the proof that it really dramatically impacts tactics? I don't know.
There's been like 3 goals. There's been 3 goals scored instantly, like in 2 minutes after a water break.
I mean, so if a player was to get injured right there and then, and they take a longer injury, players are going to run over and go talk to the coach anyways.
Yeah, so that can happen. Let that happen.
And this is not the same form of soccer / football / association sport that it was 200 years ago, whatever it was, when they first wrote down the rules and all this stuff, right? At one point, you couldn't have any subs. And then you started to be able to have subs, and different ways you can handle the ball or not handle the ball, or all these other things. And it wasn't that long ago, COVID really influenced having 5 subs, and that changes how the game is played because there's less continuity, but fresher legs, and how a deeper team is better benefited by that. And to me, having hydration breaks counters that a little bit. Like, you can stay fresher if you don't have as deep a team. So, like, the really super deep, expensive teams, I mean, this is not World Cup, but, in Europe or whatever, they have the advantage because they can go 5 deep on those subs. Other teams don't have that much that they can do it. So I don't want to be sitting here like, oh, I hate all changes, right? That's not. Is it going to make the game better in the long run? I don't have a problem with it.
It's going to make it better.
When MLS starts these, then you can be mad, Cody.
It's not going to make it better.
There's
how is it improving the game? There's no. That's not
by
going to
keeping
do
players fresher and having the
Right.
pace be higher throughout the game. How many times have you seen in the last 15 minutes of
Again-
a half that players are slowing down and the pace is getting slower, and
That's part of the game. That is a genuine part of the game that distinguishes it from other American sports. In momentum is what I was waiting to jump in here for. In basketball, crowd gets in it, the home team's all board, they're scoring points, the other teams can't score, you call a timeout. That's it. Breaks all the momentum. Teams go away, crowd calms down, momentum can shift after that. And that's what this
Okay,
is
Cody,
doing.
what do you think about VAR then? It slows down momentum. Are you against VAR because of it? Or is it more of an accumulation of VAR breaks? And now you got the hydration break and you've got, is it the combination of all of them?
Maybe the accumulation of it there, but if it's a 30-second pause to make sure a call is correct, okay, like there's value being added
pause,
there.
my ass.
A 2-minute pause, okay. That's value being added to the sport to make sure that something is factually correct, rather than
fresher, healthier players adds value to the sport.
I'm not sure that it does. They're all fit. They've all been playing 90 minutes. That's how they were prepared to do this. I'm not sure that improves the value.
It allows Messi to make 2 more runs per game.
But if the defense is the same level of tired as him, he can still make those runs. We're not going to notice if it's half a mile per hour faster.
So 3 goals were scored after hydration breaks. How many goals were stopped?
Well, I'm okay. In the Ecuador-Curacao game,
0.
the 0-0, right, a 0-0 game, it was kind of slow. And then all of a sudden in the second half, things started picking up and Ecuador looks a little hungry. And then, we got to go take a break.
But is that okay? Yeah, but that's Ecuador's fault for not doing that in the first half and realizing that they're gonna get grouped if they don't try to figure something out.
I don't know. The whole thing with the crowd and the momentum in a stadium in soccer is something that has just stood out and been different from other sports. It's an important part of it for me. And like that they're all just kind of on their own. And if you lose the momentum, the crowd is against you, you're kind of stuck and you yourself have to do something to change that momentum. And I don't know. It is a major change to this sport and the way it's watched, the way it's played, the way it's planned. And Thad, I think I'll admit you asked a very good question there of me of how is it hurting or is it hurting it in any way? I am hurt having to watch commercials in the middle of a soccer game. That really bothers me. That's antithesis to what
Watch
we're doing here.
Telemundo.
But admittedly,
does-
that is the only thing. It's making the game worse for the players, but it is just not right that I have a pee break in the middle of a game. It's not right.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
just
Cody,
terrible.
on a number of levels, I understand, I get it, and I'm going to make a bit of an analogy here that you guys are probably going to, not like. But I've been at baseball games recently, Royals Cardinals games, and there's been 3 instances where the ball was hit, lengthen up for a home run, but it was clearly foul. They had to every time do a replay to make sure it was foul, and I'm like, that was clearly foul. Everybody knows it. Why are you checking it? So things like that certainly destroy the momentum of the game and things like that. I don't like them either.
Yeah.
Now, if you went to a point where like coaches could call for a timeout, I would totally agree with you.
Oh, for sure.
But as a planned thing that everybody gets in order to keep players fresher and healthier overall, and it stays consistent that every team gets them. So every time you play, everybody who played Uruguay gets that same break, whether it's hot or cold. I don't have a problem with that. Now, maybe I'll change if it's in league play. I don't know, but
yeah. How about that? The point about it being consistent for everyone. It's a World Cup thing. Do it for the World Cup. I can accept that. FIFA, do your thing. You ruin a lot of things. Make your money, FIFA. But this is gonna be insane if in the middle of games in domes that in a regular season MLS game, if we're taking 2 breaks again, like that's gonna be weird. I can live with this if it's just a World Cup thing, but I don't want this in my everyday soccer life.
Don't be surprised if it creeps into everything.
My family actually used the hydration breaks to our benefit. We had 5 people go. but you can only buy tickets in groups of 4. So we bought 3 and 2, and then every quarter we just switched out who was sitting with who. I mean,
So there were just
we
people
were
sitting by themselves?
No, we had 3 and 2,
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah.
and we were in the same row, just a section over from each other.
So
Nice.
Okay. But really, how much value is that providing? Like, what are we Come on.
you don't have two people that like each other like well enough that they can sit by each other for the entire game.
Let
we
them
all-
sit together.
We all want to sit by my dad. So at some point, you know, so it's me and my sisters, my dad, and then one of their husbands.
Was he in the group of 3 or than the 2? Your dad.
My dad started out in the group of 3, and then went over and sat with my sister, and then came back. I don't know. It was everyone sat everywhere.
I was thinking you should have your dad in the 2. That way everybody rotates through.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's true,
Or he could be in the group of 3
including-
and the 2s could switch.
including my brother-in-law. He also gets his turn.
Carrie, you have a hard out here in a few minutes, but did you see? I actually didn't catch this until the replay in that Argentina game that Temwa got to bring out the ball, I think it was, or maybe it was the coin flip, and then got to shake
coin.
Messi's hand.
Coin
Yeah,
flip,
the coin. I did
Yeah,
not
that was
see it
cool.
on TV. I actually got a text from an LAFC/Angel City fan that just said in all caps Temwa.
Yeah,
And I was so
did this. I was
scared.
like, was that Temwa?
No, here's the thing. I didn't know any contacts. It was just Temwa in all caps, and I was like, oh no, did something happen? Like
Yeah.
he's like, she's on TV, and I was like, why?
Well,
Is she
I have
in
a,
LA? Is she? Yeah. And
I
then
have a
then I
question
went
with
on
her
Twitter
also.
afterwards and saw.
I have a question with her also. Is something happening with Temwa? The Current tweeted out a teaser of something coming.
Yes,
It was announced today.
it was announced today.
Yes.
It is a contract extension, which was technically 1 more year than what she already had, but that probably just means that it's a salary rewrite to help the cap as well.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming this was.
Probably an HIP contract.
Hell yeah.
So I have not confirmed that, but I have had it alluded to that it was an HIP contract. So which is like
Makes
a DP
sense.
contract for you,
Yeah.
Cody.
Got it.
She's just
Context
so hip.
clues. She's everywhere. MVP.
Yeah. And actually I knew she was doing the coin delivery the night before because somebody asked me to shoot it, but I couldn't because I was in the stands. So I was trying to find a photographer who could shoot it, but I was sworn to secrecy. So
Oh, yeah.
so hopefully they got the shot that they needed because she has
The
like
Current posted a video of it, so they got it. Somebody recorded it.
And she also posted it on her Instagram. However, it still has the Getty images on it. So someone pay Getty Images to give it to her
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah.
So, Carrie, make sure you listen to the pod because we're going to see if Cody does as well as you did on the quiz that has.
Oh, I'm so sad I'm missing it.
Wait, what? We're doing I was about to end the show.
What?
You're doing a quiz, Cody. We're not doing a quiz.
What?
we did the quiz before you showed up for those two.
Okay. What's the quiz?
So
Bye, Carrie.
let's see. Was there anything
And
else?
he's
we
not
needed?
even ready. You had this whole thing. You didn't tell me
He's
about
got
it,
it. He's got it. He's good.
and you weren't even ready.
I just have to get to a different tab on the other computer. That's all. It's not a big deal.
While
All right.
we're
Did you
live.
see that Messi passed? So he has the most goals scored in the World Cup, in the Men's World Cup, but he got that 2 games ago, tied it and then broke it today. But he
Correct.
did not have the most goals scored in a World Cup. It was Marta who had the most goals scored in a World Cup, but he also passed her today.
Okay.
So,
What's my question?
well,
Was there a question in there?
There
There is.
is. Well, do you know, first of all, do you know how many goals that's either one of those is?
17 for Messi or 16? I think it was 16 was Klose, and then 17 for Messi.
Well, 17, Marta had 17, so he tied her today and passed her, so he's at 18 now because he got the 2 goals,
Okay.
even though he could not get a simple little PK.
Honestly, I would have
Simple.
guessed. I thought
Whatever.
you were going to tell me that Marta was like even higher than 18. I would have assumed that.
All right, so who do you think, which international opponent do you think Messi has scored the most goals on?
Let's say someone like, let's see, he had a hat trick against Bolivia once. Let's say someone like, I don't know, I'll just say Bolivia.
You're right.
Wow.
Really?
Impressive, Cody. Impressive.
All right, cool. I was thinking Chile, but I feel like he scored a bunch of goals against Chile. But yeah, it's got to be a shitty South American team.
Do you want to guess any other ones? Who would be second?
Maybe like Paraguay.
No, they're actually fairly far down there.
Yeah, they've had good years.
There's
I don't
two
know.
teams tied for second, and actually one of them is pretty bad usually, but one of them we just saw very recently.
I don't know. I'm at a loss.
Second, tied for second is Ecuador and Venezuela. He has scored 7 goals on them.
Venezuela. I definitely should have said Venezuela. Yeah, that would have been a good guess.
All right, Marta.
Okay.
Let's go to Marta.
I'm not gonna get this. Fuck Marta. I don't even like her.
What?
I prefer Cici.
Yeah, I don't like
Cici
Marta
was
either,
better.
but she still had the lead in goals. But which team do you think she has scored the most goals on?
Internationally,
Yes.
the U.S.
No.
Carrie said that too, I think.
I just figured they played a lot of friendlies against each other just to get
Yeah.
those two teams to play. Probably not. I'm not gonna go South America for her. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws here. I have no idea. Canada.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Look at that.
Impressive, Cody. Impressive.
You did very well.
All right.
You did very well. Marta has scored 11 against Canada, 10 against the United States, and 10 against Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Her first South American win is Colombia with 8, and then Chile at 7, and not South America, China, Argentina with 5. So yeah,
China.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can count how many games she played against the U.S. and Canada compared to those others,
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. I was dreading that. Didn't embarrass myself, even with some
Not at
Marta
all.
questions.
Not at all.
I think you had some very lucky guesses. However, you did, so well done, Cody.
Hey, Bolivia was an edge. That was a hypothesis because I had just looked up his previous games and how good that one compared to his other games for the national team, and saw that Bolivia hat trick.
No, it was
Yeah.
funny today, though. Messi misses a PK. He's missed a fair amount of PKs. Like, people
It's
relax.
been a thing. It's been a thing
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Well, in the World Cup, he's missed 3 of 7.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't normally miss in regular league play.
No, there was a
Club.
period like several years ago that I'm forgetting what the average is for. Is it like 0.72 or something? Is like what 72% of the time a PK gets scored or something. There was a period in his career where he was like percentage points below the average of a PK. But I think he's gotten that back up, and
The weight of
recent
a
years.
nation.
yes,
think he
seriously.
just doesn't want the easy goals, man.
Well,
Right.
that's why. Yeah, he held off on breaking the record just so he could do it in the run of play. I like that. All right, boys. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I guess we'll be back later this week for some shades of red, white, and blue. And yeah, we'll talk to you then. Sporting. Almost forgot which